He's angry about mortgages. It's Angry Mortgage. He's swearing. He's cursing loud. He's old. He's opinionated. And he's been doing this so damn long. This program is about mortgages, and this is mortgage advice, but the advice may not apply to your situation. Contact licensed mortgage professionals for specific recommendations before you make decisions about mortgages. You may not agree with Ron, but if you don't, he thinks you're wrong. Oh, and did we say there is a lot of swearing?
I think the mistake that's been made in the space that I've witnessed is that people that got into the banking wanted to emulate what the big banks were doing, and that's a mistake. That's not what Equitable did, mistake, right? Yeah. You need to figure out that you're a boutique or a niche, where you're gonna take your shots, what you're gonna be good at, develop a specialization where you're more nimble and you can provide that service and get a better return than the dominant players. Because it's even true in the mortgage space, nothing has really changed. Like the banks in the prime space today are overwhelming.
You know, we could spend probably another whole show talking about the fallacy of fintech in the mortgage business, because we got a long list we could review. I mean, it's a big list, but to your point, not really a whole hell of a lot has changed because it's a highly regulated business.
Well, I think that
all you can do is speed application.
I would say automation has improved the business.
Yes.
I think that fintech was largely misunderstood. It was very frothy because people thought that there was going to be a solution in technology,
a magic bullet
to replace the intermediation by people. And I don't think that'll ever happen, even with AI. AI is so unreliable that you're always going to need a human to check it, and you're always going to need an off-ramp to a human. I mean, it always amazes me, and I've said this to you and on other podcasts, don't want to repeat myself, but even the most financially literate people need help with their mortgage, whether it's because they don't have time or they've got a spouse or a family member and it's an emotional decision. In the home buying journey, you need an intermediary that helps them through that process. Even with AI, that's not going to change.
No, it won't.
My view.
It will not.
And I think that there's a bit of a bubble emerging on AI as a solution to everything. Now, having said that, the tech stacks in our industry and some competitors are using are so dated that they desperately need to be replaced.
Of course, that's absolutely true. That said, though, to your point, the idea that a better, more robust, and faster application process is a magic bullet is a complete fallacy.
A total fallacy.
Total fallacy. And yet, we've got venture capitalist after venture capitalist is happy to throw money at it. Like, not anymore. Those days are over. You know, if you're a particular fruit brokerage, I mean, that might be the end of the gravy train.
Well, but, you know, Ron, I lived through this digitization, and I did it knowing that it would not create a material share when we created eHome at Scotia in order to demonstrate that you could go end to end on a digital basis.
Which, by the way, is still the best system.
It still is. But having said that, I knew it was never going to be a material part of mortgage origination given what's required, right? But you had to do it to fend off the fintechs because they were going to all the board members and senior executive of the bank saying that there is a magic bullet. And I knew there wasn't. But so to get out in front of it and to demonstrate that you did have that capability, but what could it really do and under what circumstances? So I think that, you know, my view was that we moved to an age of digital plus, but we're a long way from that.
To your point, there is the whole basis of an intermediary to assist in a mortgage transaction is that something you might own, the consumer only does every 3, 6, 7, 5
well,
years.
And thanks to our friend Peter Rutledge, he's made it so complex that you need someone who does it on a daily basis to be able to divine what will work and what won't. And we're going to talk about that, whether it's the stress test and now LTI, you know, B20. I used to say this to people in audiences, like, even the analysts didn't understand in the beginning that it wasn't a multivitamin, that it actually was a requirement on what you were allowed and what not to do. It was so prescriptive.
If you like the pod, well, don't just sit there. Go to YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and all the other ones and like the pod. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep being angry at mortgages and swearing about mortgages. Angry Mortgage could use your support.